Welcome and welcome back, besties. So I have no clue what I'm gonna end up titling this video, LOL. But we're gonna be talking about groups that I feel like are being treated like ugly stepchildren by their incompetent ass companies. And or by all of y'all. And it's very undeserving to say the least. Let's begin our rant, shall we? WJSN. This group was probably the one who inspired this video the most. Starship, I'm under your bed tonight. The girls haven't even had a comeback since after they won Queendom 2. Almost 2 years ago, mind you. And there was still little group activities following that. Damn, now we're even seeing them being excluded from company activities. It's just sad. Because you see how much star power these girls have, and the push that they should be getting. Amazing concepts, great music, and talented members. Even when Starship dumps one or all of them to the next survival show, they still show out and win. As You Wish, a song they released years ago, still trends and charts at the top for New Year's every year. The way they continued to get more attention with how long the group has been active for, is already impressive in itself. Just to be neglected. And yet all know damn well it wouldn't matter how relevant the group stays over time. Because one thing about these companies. They're gonna hate their female artists. It's most likely gonna be more difficult now considering Luda and Dawn left the company, Ziola made her solo debut, Rim debuted in Else Up, and Bona is becoming more successful as an actress. I guess we'll see in the future. Cherry Bullet. Sigh. Where do I even start with these girls? I'm seriously convinced that FNC has no idea what to do with them anymore because they're just throwing anything at the wall to see if shit sticks. And you gotta wonder how we got to this point because they started off so well. They were considered one of the most promising rookies of 2019. They had a unique video game concept and sound that allowed them to stand out with Girl Crush taking over at the time. The group has great talent, especially when it comes to their singers and presence on stage. But after Marie, Linlin and Kokoro left the group out of nowhere after their first comeback, it just seems like FNC started to put less and less effort into them. The video game concept they developed for the girls was abandoned after a while. The girls would just be dumped into the next survival show of the week for some more exposure. And the one time it actually worked with Girls Planet? FNC would still fuck it up by waiting months afterwards to finally announce a comeback after this new hype had already died down. Since the girls' debut, FNC has debuted 2 boy groups, both selling more than Cherry Bullet, even with one of them getting their first full album before Cherry Bullet. And because misogyny exists, FNC probably sees no point of putting more effort anymore into the girls. I'm getting so aggravated just typing this out. Just the epitome of wasted potential. Weki Muki. A lot of y'all don't like when people call this out, but at the end of the day it's the truth. Misogyny does indeed exist in the K-pop industry, and it's obvious when you look at the effort that companies put into the boy groups versus the girl groups, especially those who don't have huge numbers in comparison. Weki Muki haven't had a comeback in almost 3 years now, and during that time, both the Fantagios active boy groups have released new music and had promotions. I can't believe this even has to be said, but this is not an attack to either of these groups. This is just pointing out the clear favoritism that the company has. Not only do these girls have great talent but also had an influence in popularizing the teen crush concept, a concept that would be prominent to girl groups of the 4th gen. And again, these girls' time is being absolutely wasted. All we've seen from them since their last album was Yoojung's solo debut, Doyeon acting in more dramas and films, and Ellie being in Queendom Puzzle. At this point, I see no hope of them actually coming back as a full group. We're approaching their 7th anniversary since their debut, and I would be shocked if all of them ended up renewing their contracts or even announcing a comeback before then.
Are you ready for a love like this? Are you ready for a love like this? Are you ready for yummy?
Momoland. See, now this is what pisses me off. Because I'll be damned if I'm my company's main moneymaker and I end up getting treated like the ugly stepchild afterwards. After Momoland blew up back in 2018 with their hit, Boom Boom, the group received a lot of hate. From plagiarism accusations, accusations of buying chart placements, and then allegedly disrespecting other idols at award shows. It was so bad for them. Even though most of this wasn't even true. The lineup change and their comebacks afterwards didn't do much to help either. You can tell MLD spent less effort into their music in hopes of getting them another hit like Boom Boom. But nothing was really ever successful in doing so. Instead, it just set the girls up into getting more hate that they just make the same songs. They started to have less frequent comebacks with even less music, literally their last two releases being these random ass collaborations. After debuting their new boy group and girl group, I think it was basically settled that Momoland would barely receive much attention from their company ever again. It's just sad to witness considering how far these girls could have went if only the people responsible for promoting them had some actual sense. IOI. Good lord. I mean, there was already a lot going on with these girls after Produce 101, with 4 of them still being active in their respective girl groups while promoting with the group, but still. They were pretty much treated like lab rats by Mnet to see how successful project groups could be coming from their survival shows. Even to this day, they are barely mentioned to downright excluded of any conversations surrounding these shows and these groups. By all, by the way. But it's okay. At the end of the day, they're still the Produce group with the best lineup and discography, so now what? Give them their deserved flowers. CLC. Am I started to sound like a broken record at this point? Again, so much potential here. Talented singers. Great dancers and performers. One of the only good rappers in K-pop. Better concepts than most. Fuck the gossip. And this still couldn't stop Cube from treating them like dog shit. It's a real shame. I will never understand why these girls were never as pushed compared to other groups in their company. Even when there was times where they gained more popularity, like Hobgoblin or Black Dress, it would be ruined because of random long periods of the group being inactive. We could probably argue the inconsistency of concepts too, but the girls were gonna eat every time. So I don't see the issue. But anyways. No fan colors until their last year of being active. No light stick. No full albums. Literally no company support. Just negligence and vibes. Very undeserved. From Miss 9. I'm going to pray for my sisters here. Aside from being excluded by crazy ass hype fans. Mostly because they don't sell crazy numbers compared to the other groups, but I'm not gonna wake that tea up today. Them being acquired by Pledis was always something that concerned me considering. You know. Previous experiences. Although they have been getting somewhat consistent comebacks, the effort put into their first full album was very confusing. This is supposed to be a big moment for the group. And yet it still felt very underwhelming at times. Of course, the album was excellent. As expected from Fromus. But with them now being part of one of the biggest companies in the industry, you would think there would be more effort. But that clearly wasn't the case. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. It might be too soon to predict anything. But these girls have been through a lot already in the past with long periods of hiatus and the hate they've experienced recently. I'm hoping they'll still be active for as long as possible, and that Pledis seriously does not fuck this up. And that's the end of this video. Thanks for tuning into my damn near 10-minute trend of some of my favorite girl groups being mistreated for no understandable reason. Love you. Bye bye.